everybody, welcome to another episode of Just Open It, the YouTube series in which I open recently acquired toys. My name is Russ. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you're a fan of toys, action figures, or pop culture in general, please subscribe to my channel, Karaoke Fanboy TV. Every week I aim to open a recently acquired toy or action figure or pop culture collectible. And today I am going to answer the hard-hitting question: which He-Man is the best He-Man? We are in a Masters of the Universe renaissance, as I've often discussed in these videos. He-Man is more prominent in the toy aisles than ever, with not one, not two, but three action figure lines, not including his representation with Funko Pops and other kind of smaller collectible items. When it comes to pure articulated action figures for children to play with, he is represented in at least three distinct and prominent ways. The Masters of the Universe Origins line, which is most definitely my favorite, which kind of captures the original Masters of the Universe toy line from the 80s, but with updated articulation. Then there's this Masters of the Universe Masterverse action figure series, which was originally capturing the character designs from the Netflix Masters of the Universe Revelation show, but it's since evolved into this kind of Masters of the Universe Ultimates line, where you're getting classic designs, new designs, tweaks on current representations of characters, like from the Revelation show, or from the other Masters of the Universe Netflix cartoon, which has its own distinct line as well. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe represented here with this CGI design, and the sculpt kind of reflects those chiseled characteristics. Three He-Men currently at large at your local Walmart, Target, or wherever you're buying action figures. And to celebrate He-Man's 40th anniversary, Mattel released another version of the most powerful man in the universe. This 40th anniversary Masters of the Universe He-Man. And although the packaging is distinct to the Masterverse line, it doesn't really indicate that it is a Masterverse figure. This is just He-Man. And I picked this up at a Target a couple of months ago. And I'm going to open it to answer the question: is this the best He-Man that's available at market right now? Or is it, in my opinion, Origins? We're going to answer that question if this figure stands up to this one. Or are these other two going to rise to prominence or sink in the rankings once I open this He-Man? Who knows who will have the power? But I'm going to find out right now. A lot of contention over this He-Man's face sculpt, though you can't deny the multiple points of articulation, which have created some amazing stop-motion animation features on Mattel's Instagram, if you haven't seen that. Again, you have this classic stature and sculpt. Just kind of the caricature of He-Man is perfectly captured here. And I did put on a classic sculpt He-Man head from, I think it was Battle Armor He-Man that I opened. So I am kind of skewing that Masters of the Universe Origins He-Man. He had his own head sculpt, which I also actually really like. But in the case of this argument, I've put that original look there on him. And then this, which would be, more kid-friendly, really exaggerated features here. He has an action feature, which is this kind of spring-loaded battle strike to celebrate, I guess, how the original He-Man guys had those spring-loaded waists that you could turn and punch. Well, here we go, folks. I'm going to open this 40th anniversary He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Beautiful package art here. Just so you could see that Skeletor kind of lurking here around the corner. So the battle continues. But I'm going to rip this guy open and just see how he fares here in comparison to his predecessors. Got this piece of tape up here. So this is the Just Open It portion of the Just Open It show. Okay. Got the flap open here. Actually, the tape came off really without doing much damage to the package itself, so I wonder if the package can be preserved, though. One of the points of this video series is for me to open these boxes and get them out of my apartment so I have more room to display the toys as they are. But yeah, look at this. Very clean opening here. So if you're looking to display figures in the package and yet still experience their articulation a little bit, you could do so with this guy. It looks like he is packaged with some of those really annoying rubber or plastic bands here, so I'm going to try to bypass those. And you know what? Oh. Okay. I just don't understand these. If I'm a kid and I want to rip this guy open and play with him immediately, which I did when I was a child, you know, it just makes it so difficult. Is this plastic clamshell, whatever you call this, where it kind of takes the form of the figure, is that not enough to keep the guy in place? It seemed to be for so long that all of a sudden in the last, like, 10, 15 years, we get these little plastic bands. And they're just so annoying. Anyway, that has nothing to do with He-Man and everything to do with my personal tastes. All right. We're out. And, of course, like almost all action figures now, he has to come with these alternate hands. I do appreciate that this is a fist, so He-Man can punch. This is an open hand, kind of in the classic way, so that he could grip that shield. But then you also have these two regular hands here, so he could hold his axe and sword at the same time. So let's do that first. Let's put the sword in. And I'm such a traditionalist, the sword has to go in his right hand because it always did. And then the axe over here. And here we are so far. Digging it. The points of articulation are very much like the Masterverse version of He-Man. So you get a lot of posability. I'm just kind of loosening these joints here to see how... Oh, you hear that snap? Yeah. No smell. That's okay. I've probably been spared some plastic or lead poisoning. All right, so here's just a fun initial battle pose. And again, Mattel's been marketing these figures with some amazing stop motion animation on their Instagram and social media. If you haven't seen that, you got to check it out. And in fact, I would love to see an entire show, as impossible as it may be that way, if only to kind of finally give us a peek as fans behind the curtain. The point of any He-Man cartoon was always to sell the toys. So why not just use the toys to make the cartoon, cut out the middleman of animation at this point, hand-drawn animation. You're using CGI anyway. Let's just dive right in and show me these toys in action so I could recreate these adventures at home. And that's what a kid would think, of course. Anyway, so yeah, I'm digging this He-Man. I like his size. It's very celebratory of the character. You know, this would stand out on a shelf for sure, and in fact probably be comparable with some of these DC figures from the early 2000s that I love. In fact, if it isn't too much trouble, I'm going to grab Superman off the shelf. I'll just open it first. And yeah, He-Man actually kind of towers over Superman here. So it would be a fun action figure fight for Superman to visit Eternia and find a He-Man that's out of proportion. In fact, it's interesting that when you have these crossovers, the characters are always kind of in proportion with one another. In the comics, right? That they're always about the same height, the same build. But who's to say that the citizens of Eternia aren't a foot taller, aren't significantly more bulky? They live in a barbarian world, so where they're fighting like beasts of the sea and on land and dinosaurs flying in the air and stuff like that. It would make sense that maybe they're a little bit bigger, and so that kind of intimidation would be an important factor in the story. So it'd be fun to see a He-Man Superman battle where He-Man is a foot taller and significantly bulkier. Anyway, That's just kind of an aside here. So there's that. Now I'm going to do one hand exchange here because I really do kind of hate this hand situation. I just always feel that these little pegs are so small that one day I'm going to pull out a hand and the peg's going to break and the whole figure is going to be shot. So interestingly, while the hand is removed, the gauntlets come off as well. I don't know if that will help the way he holds the shield, but let's find out now. In fact, do I need to remove that gauntlet for him to hold the shield is the question. So you can see what I'm doing here. No, I do not need to remove the gauntlet. In fact, the shield went on very easily. That open hand tucks right into the handle there. Very nice. And I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying the He-Man. Now the sword, the power sword, has a little bit more sculpt than your average. You could see in the shadow there kind of the detail here. And the handle has some nice nice detail there too, as far as just the straps on the handle. I don't know how well that's coming into focus, but I dig that. One thing I noticed right away, actually, as I was unpackaging the weapons, the detail in the axe, which was really lacking, despite my love of these Origins figures, really lacking here in the Origins figure. You can see the axe is just kind of this matte gray plastic. There's no detail there. You hold these two things side by side, you can just see the difference. This looks a much more classic Masters of the Universe. This is just an effective axe with very little detail otherwise. So, that said, this He-Man does excel in detail. I love this little... We can now effectively put weapons back there. Oh, and as I did so, his harness kind of unhitched there. So that can be removed to give you the classic He-Man barbarian look from the original mini comics. But how easily is that? Okay, just snapped right back in. So it's this, if you can see that there, little peg. You don't hear a snap, but you can kind of feel it. So I'm going to hold that down now as I put the axe in. And there we are. So, all in all, initial impressions, I like this figure a lot. It's unfortunate that he is kind of a standalone. I think there's a 40th anniversary Skeletor that was exclusive to Comic-Con or something. They came in a 2-pack maybe. I'm not 100% sure. This was at retail and could perhaps still be found at a local Target. Maybe Walmart. I'm not sure. I'm thinking it's a Target exclusive. And I very much enjoy this. I like the size. I like the articulation. It's a standalone He-Man figure for me that perhaps might not even exist on the shelves with my other Masters of the Universe stuff. This might go more like near my drawing desk as kind of an inspiration, or just in a separate space where He-Man could stand alone as my childhood and all-time favorite hero. Now, is he better than these other figures? Is he the best? And I am going to say, for the sake of argument, that the Origins figure remains my favorite only because of its classic stature. The way he stands stout as the original Masters of the Universe figures did, and that I have all of his friends and foes for him to interact with. The only thing that sets this 40th anniversary He-Man apart is that he is truly set apart and by himself. It's an adult collectible, in my opinion, not a part of a line that fans of all ages can enjoy for both display and playability. So with that said, it is a great figure. It truly celebrates He-Man simplistically, comes with everything it needs to come with, nothing more, nothing less. That face looks like the He-Man I remember. The color scheme is there. So beautiful bouquet of He-Man here that I present to you, my fellow toy collectors. So thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Again, please subscribe to my channel, Karaoke Fanboy TV, and follow me on Instagram at AmazingAZComics, where I post more about the comics and toys that I love, and the comics and zines that I make. So I hope to see you there. And tune in next time when I grab another toy here in my living room. I look at it and I say, you know what? Just open it. I'll catch you next time.